woman in public, let's know talking about a woman of Samaria. But see, Jesus does not care about your little rules and regulations when it's time to save somebody. No, you should not go over there. No, you shouldn't be a part of that. Let me tell you something. When one of my members' life or soul is on the line, I will go there at all costs to pull them out of any situation they find themselves in. Well, Brother Gatson, you're going to get a bad reputation. You're going to get a bad reputation. Let me tell you something. If I can go in and not do any wrong and make sure I do what's right, can't nobody say anything about it, because the folk on the inside know what I came in there for, and they know I'm not in there to do what I should not be doing. I'm in there to help rescue somebody from the snares of Satan. Jesus said, I don't care about these rules and regulations. This woman has a problem. Somebody needs to get in her business. Because what had been taking place was some folk were discussing her business, but wasn't trying to help her with her business. I hope y'all get that in a minute. You see, folk can discuss and talk about everything that's going on with your business and know that you're suffering, knowing that you're hurting, and then won't do anything to come to your rescue. Lord, I hear they about to lose their car. Well, what you going to do? Are you going to give them anything? I hear they barely have gas money to get gas for their car. Are you going to give them anything? I heard they starving over there. Are you going to give them any groceries to eat? See, we talk a whole lot, but what are we going to do to help people in their condition? All right, now watch this. Jesus goes against the rules and the regulations. And his disciples have gone into the city to buy meat. And the Bible says, then saith the woman of Samaria unto him, how is it that thou, being a Jew, askest drink of me, which am a woman of Samaria? For the Jews, listen, have no dealings with the Samaritans. No dealings. We don't deal. We don't meet up. We don't talk. We don't have any dealings with one another. But here you are, a Jew, asking me, a woman of Samaria. You are going against two rules. Why are you trying to deal with me? And Jesus saying in the back of his mind, I'm trying to get in your business. Watch this. Jesus answered and said unto her, if thou knewest the gift of God, who it is, says to thee, give me to drink, thou wouldst have asked of him, and he would have given thee living water. See, Jesus takes his physical need to show her her spiritual need. Jesus takes his physical need of water to show her what she needs spiritually. And I thought I'd tell you that what you need is really not physical. Your need tonight is spiritual. And if you can make the spiritual connection, the physical things will happen for you. Watch this. He says, the woman saith unto him, sir, you don't even have anything to draw with, and the well is deep. From whence then hast thou that living water? Art thou greater than our father Jacob, which gave us the well and drank thereof of himself and his children and his cattle? Jesus answered and said unto her, whosoever drinketh of this water shall thirst again. It's good what Jacob did for you. But if you drink the water that Jacob left for you, you'll thirst again. But I've got some water. Let me tell you something. If you want to be satisfied tonight, he says, I've got some water that you can drink, whereby you'll never, ever have to thirst again, because I'll put in you a water supply. And whenever you need a drink of this water, it'll already be there. You won't have to come to a well for it. The well will be in you. And what does she say, Lord? Give me that water. You telling me that I don't have to come to this well anymore to be ridiculed by the women of this city, to be talked about by the women of this city? You're telling me I don't have to go through that anymore because you're going to satisfy me with water. I don't have to come to this well. Give me that water. She was embarrassed by her failures. She had failed in life. And she was embarrassed by her failures. And all of us have some embarrassments in our lives. There's something in your life and my life that we are not proud of. And I guarantee you, it's not just one thing. It might even be several things that you are not proud of in your life. And sometimes those things you just keep repeating over and over and over again because you have never made contact with the living water. Because if you ever make contact, she was embarrassed by her failures. But look, she's being embraced by a friend. I'm going to tell you why, because I got to shut it down. I got to tell you why it's necessary for the Lord to get in your business. It's necessary that he get in your business because he's the only one who's going to look beyond your faults and see your needs. See, other folk going to talk about your faults. Other folk are going to exploit your faults. But Jesus looks beyond your faults and he sees all the good that you can be. That's why you're sitting up in here right now, because he looked beyond our faults and he saw all of our needs. Jesus is looking beyond this woman's faults and he says to her, I want to know something about you. In verse number 16, Jesus said unto her, Go call thy husband and come hither. And the woman answered and said, I have no husband. Wait a minute. What do you mean you don't have a husband? Let me tell you something. When the Lord gets in your business, you try to divert him away from your business. You don't want him to get in your business, so you began to bring up some other stuff that's not relative to you, but it might be a good conversation. You notice how some folk never really want to talk about themselves, but they'll listen to you talk about you all day long. I'm trying to show you something here. Jesus said unto her, Thou hast well said, I have no husband, for thou hast had how many? Five husbands, and he whom thou now hast is not thy husband. In that sayest thou truly. The woman said unto him, Sir, I perceive that thou art a prophet. Our fathers, listen at her, she don't want to deal with them husbands. Our fathers worshiped in this mountain. And ye say that in Jerusalem is the place where men ought to worship. Wait a minute. I wasn't talking about worship. I was talking about your business. I'm taking care of my business. I'm going to inform folk about worship. You don't have to worry about that. I just want you to get in the right relationship so you can worship. How many? Go get your husband. That's what I want you to deal with. I want you to deal with what has been bothering you. men has been your problem. See, y'all don't want to look at that in the text. That's been the woman's problem. 5 husbands. Hadn't stayed with one, and probably was getting ready to get rid of this one. 5 husbands, and you're talking about women coming to the well? Could have been some of those women husbands who she had taken away. That's the reason why they were coming there and discussing her and talking about her and downplaying her, because they were tired of her sinful activity, and she was doing everything within her power to stay out of their way, because she knew her business was not good business. And here is a man who comes along who she think might want to hit on her, but Jesus ain't concerned about hitting on her. He wants to get her business straight. Why do you think she answered, I have no husband? See, y'all read stuff, but you don't read it. She was probably saying to herself, he looked like a pretty good candidate. Who you with around here? I'm just traveling through. Oh, just traveling through. You don't know my business then, do you? You don't know who I am and what I'm about. I have no husband. But Jesus knew her business. That was the reason why he went through Samaria, because he wanted to get in her business and straighten her out. And I thought I'd tell us tonight that he knows all of our business. The stuff your spouse don't know, God knows. The stuff your mama and daddy don't know, young folk, God knows. And we have to know tonight that no matter what answer we give to whatever question, we're going to have to always answer to God. You might fool some of the people some of the time, and you might fool me all of the time, but you can never fool God none of the time. He knows. He knows your business. He knew her business. But she brings up worship, and that's all right. Because Jesus saith unto her, woman, verse 21, believe me, the hour cometh when ye shall neither in this mountain nor yet in Jerusalem worship the Father. Why? Because there will not be just a centralized location, a place to come to worship him. Because now, he says, ye worship, ye know not what. We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews, but the hour cometh, and now is, when the true worshiper shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth. For the Father seeketh such to worship him, not by ritual, but by spirit and in truth. The Father seeketh folk like that to worship him. You ain't got to come in sprinkling dust, shaking your beads and looking around and Holy Father this and Holy Father that. This is what it's all about. Worshiping in spirit and in truth. Your spirit must connect with the Spirit of God. God is a spirit. And they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. It's not about the physical body, it's about the spiritual being. And then the woman saith unto him, I know that the Messiah cometh, which is called Christ. When he is come, he will tell us all things. Jesus saith unto her, I that speak unto thee am he. I am the one. If you knew the gift of God and who it was that asketh you for a drink, you would give it to me, because you would know that I am the Messiah. And here she is now. And upon this came his disciples, and marveled that he talked with the woman, yet no man said, what seekest thou, or why talkest thou with her? And then in verse 28, the woman then left her water pot